Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And once again, we have a lot of new Gunpla announcements to go over, thanks to the Gundam Next Future event that was held this past week. With the hobby new item info thingy happening right before it though, I wasn't expecting anything too much from it, but to say that I was mistaken would be quite the understatement. Because the biggest announcement in literally every sense of the word was the Perfect Grade Unleashed new Gundam. But other than this one image, we unfortunately don't have any other information. It is confirmed to be releasing eventually, but we don't know when or for how much it's going to be releasing. But hey, it's at least good to see that Bandai hasn't forgotten about the perfect grades. And talking about lines that Bandai hasn't forgotten, at the end of the event, they also announced that the Barb's loops will be getting a master grade. Again, more details to be announced soon. And of course, this has led to a lot of people bringing up those leaked Gunplas again. They were on the money for the Perfect Grade Unleashed new Gundam, and they were almost right about the master grade Barbs. The prediction was for the Lupus Rex, and we ended up getting the Lupus. For now. So either those leaks were true, or I should really ask this guy about next week's lottery numbers. I guess now we just wait for the Master Grade Rising Freedom and Immortal Justice, and the Master Grade Extreme Astray Red Frame. What surprised me less then is ironically the thing that Gundam.info called the surprise announcement. The high-grade White Gundam and high-grade Zaku GQuuuuuX version will be getting a release and were shown off at the event. As with the new Gundam and the Barbs though, we didn't get any additional information about their release date or their price, but thanks to the display, we do at least know some of their accessories. The White Gundam will definitely come with a beam rifle, 2 beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts and a shield, and the Zaku will come with a Zaku machine gun and a Zaku bazooka. They also showed off all of the other upcoming GQuuuuuX model kits and all of the upcoming GQuuuuuX merchandise and figures. Most of which we did already know about, but I don't remember seeing these prize figures for Shuji, Nyan, and Machu. And they also had some cool statues there, which unfortunately weren't up for sale. There was a life-size GQuuuuuX head and non-scale statues of the full GQuuuuuX and the Red Gundam. And since we're on the topic of GQuuuuuX, with the movie entering its 6th week, moviegoers at Japanese theaters will be getting this illustration card as a freebie. We got a new promotional video, which I will have linked down below. And it was announced that the TV series will premiere on Japanese television on April the 8th. So far, there's no news about a release outside of Japan, but looking at previous Gundam anime, I'm expecting it to be available at around or just at the same time. The real question is just going to be, how is it going to be distributed? Is it going to be on Netflix? Is it going to be on Crunchyroll? Is it going to be through YouTube? But however they're going to do it, I'm glad they're going to be doing it soon, because for the movie, in all of Belgium, there's only going to be one theater showing it, and that one theater is only going to show it twice, and I unfortunately can't make it to either of those screenings. Back to the Gunpla announcements then, Gundam Seed Destiny is getting a new lineup of Revive high grades, but which kits will be part of this new lineup remains to be seen. Based on the Revive in the announcement though, it seems like they'll be taking kits that did already have an old high grade and will be reviving it. So my money is going to be on the Gaia Gundam. It already has an old high grade, and way back when, it was part of the lineup that was teased to get an RE100. And while only one of those teased kits did end up becoming an RE100, some of them would get kits in other grades, like Master Grade or High Grade. And then following the Gaia, it would only make sense for us to also get the Chaos and the Abyss. And I'm also not ruling out the possibility of us getting like completely new model kits of mobile suits that didn't have a kit yet. Like in the past, we do have one example of this. The logo was part of the remaster line, but it didn't have an old kit to be remastered. Although at the same time, I'm also not holding my breath for a GQuuuuuuX model kit, no matter how much I would love to get a high grade of that thing. What I find surprising then is that they specified that it is Gundam Seed Destiny and not like the whole Cosmic Era. Because when I think about old Cosmic Era kits that could really do with a revive, Seed kits are way worse than Gundam Seed Destiny kits. But it is what it is. And we also got some movie news for the Cosmic Era. The special edition of Gundam Seed Freedom is going to make it outside of Japan, with screenings in Thailand from March the 13th to March the 19th. So maybe the special edition will make it to more countries as well. And outside of the Gundam Next Future event, we got some more cool Gunpla announcements, starting with North America. In a move that I never expected, the premium Bandai Limited high-grade Dead Scythe Hell, Heavy Arms Kai, Sandrock Custom, and Altron have been made available as standard releases. They're slated for a September release, and hopefully this won't be the last time that Bandai does something like this. Over in Canada, meanwhile, some retailers put up a listing for an as-of-yet unannounced Gunpla, the entry-grade Wing Gundam. According to both listings, it is slated for a Q3 release, and it'll retail for around 15 Canadian rupees. So, if these listings do end up to be true, Bandai seems to be going all in with Gundam Wing and its 30th anniversary. And both of these announcements also perfectly line up with their commitment to cater more to the international audience, many of whom were of course introduced to Gundam through Gundam Wing, and many of whom also hate premium Bandai, especially those who don't have premium Bandai in their country. Anyways, Gundam Wing is also having a collaboration with the Animate Café in Ikebukuro and Osaka. It'll last from April the 1st until the 21st, and they did already reveal some cool new art of the main Gundam Wing characters. And reservations are currently also up. Back to the Gunpla news then, with the Gundam base, because this week they also announced a few limited edition kits. And their first one was the very shiny Real Grade God Gundam Hyper Mode, going for 16,500 yen, 110 US. And if you're like me, you probably thought that this was a bit expensive, even for a gold-plated Real Grade. And if you thought so, you would be completely correct, because for once, this set is more than just a straight-up recolor. In addition to the God Gundam and its normal accessories, we're also getting an Action Base 7 and even an entire stage to put it on, for which we're also getting 2 backplates. One with Master Asia and Domon, and one showing off the Sekiha Tenkyoken. Also, I love how the box art says Burning Gundam instead of God Gundam, which is something that they didn't do for the regular release. There, it just says God Gundam in both English and in Japanese. And this thing can be yours on March the 8th. From April 11th then, they're having a special event called Gundam Base Pop-Up World Tour in Osaka. Basically, it's going to be a pop-up store Gundam Base, which will be there until October the 13th, and will have pre-sales of 3 Gundam Base exclusive Gunpla. For 4,180 yen, 28 US, there is the Real Grade RX-78-2 Gundam version 2.0 Gundam Base Color, which will also come with special waterslide decals. For 6,380 and 43 US, there is the Master Grade Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz version Katoki, Recirculation Color Neon Pink version, and for 5,280 and 35 US, there is the Master Grade Gundam Astray Red Frame Recirculation Color Neon Pink version. And I really think they missed an opportunity to call it the pink frame here. But for both the Astray and the Wing Zero, the recirculation color in their title means that the black of the model kit is made with recycled plastic. So all three of these will go on pre-sale on April the 11th, and then at a later date, they will also become available at regular Gundam bases and even overseas. And what this pop-up Gundam base will also be selling is the RX-78 F00/E Gundam with X001 glass feather unit chemical recycle version. It goes for 3,960 yen, 27 US. It is also slated for an April 11th release, and despite using recycled plastic, it's meant to be identical to the standard release, which is the big thing setting this kit apart from Gunpla. So with Gunpla, everything just kind of gets like mixed together, and the end result is a black plastic with still little specks of different colors in there if you look closely. But with chemical recycling, the recycled runners are chemically treated to be turned back into the raw materials, which is then used for this model kit. So in theory, it should be indistinguishable from regular plastic. And if you have a look at the screen for a second, the runners on the left are made with that recycled plastic, whereas the runners on the right are made with normal plastic. So about half of the kit is made with that recycled plastic. And to promote it, they gave it this really cool diorama at the Gundam Next Future final event. It comes like splashing out of the recycled plastic. And related to the Gunpla news then, Bandai currently has a vote going on to decide the 100 best Gunpla box arts. The page simply says that voting is restricted to people with a premium Bandai membership, but in practice, it actually means people with a premium Bandai membership who are also physically in Japan. Or, of course, people who pretend to be in Japan with a VPN like NordVPN. And by using the link down below or the code KKRT, you'll not just get a sweet discount, but you'll also be supporting the channel. So the problem with the Japanese Premium Bandai website is that if it detects that you're not in Japan, it'll automatically redirect you to the region select where Japan isn't an option, so you physically can go to the website. A website that you can access without a VPN then is the Gunpla 45th anniversary website, where Bandai is claiming to fight against the misconception that Gunpla is difficult to build. So when Bandai tweeted about this, they immediately got blasted in the comments, with like almost every single comment being a variant of, Gunpla isn't difficult to build, it's difficult to buy. Which unfortunately is a sentiment that nowadays I totally have to agree with. Whether it's premium Bandai shenanigans or a supply chain that simply can't keep up with the demand for regular releases. Let's just say that I didn't choose to only now build my Destroy Gundam. If it was up to me, I would have had that thing a year ago. So yeah, a really sad state of affairs for Gunpla's 45th anniversary. Better Gunpla-related news then comes to us from Shizuoka, the self-proclaimed capital of model kits, where the Gunpla factory is also located. But it's also lacking a certain something to attract fans of Gunpla to the city. And in order to fix that, there's currently talks going on for Shizuoka to get their own permanent life-sized Gundam statue. And of course, a matching Gundam base to go along with it. So hopefully, these talks will have some very positive results. And then the final Gunpla-related announcement is that Gundam Assemble will be officially launching in 2026. So unfortunately, it is still quite a ways off, like we've only just begun 2025. After all of these Gunpla-related announcements then, we also got some Robot Spirits figure announcements, although they are unfortunately all premium Bandai limited figures. In ascending order of price, we first have the RX-78-2 Gundam version anime Earth colors for 6,600 yen, 44 US. And this eco-friendly version of the Gundam isn't just for show. It uses water-based paints and plant-based eco-friendly plastics for the packaging, and it sounds like these are also used for the figure itself. It can be yours in April, but it does only come with a very basic loadout. There's the beam rifle, 2 beam sabers with only 1 beam saber blade effect part, a bunch of hand options, and a 45th anniversary action base. The Guncannon Heavy Custom version anime Jawbro colors, on the other hand, might not be as eco-friendly, but it does come with a lot more stuff. Of course, also for a slightly higher price of 9,350 yen, 63 US. It comes with its normal shoulder-mounted cannons with a big and small effect part, the beam cannon and sensor combo of the Guncannon 2, a beam rifle, 2 grenades, a bunch of hand options, 2 big thruster effect parts and 2 smaller effect parts, all of which can be yours in August. And for 11,000 yen, 74 US, the Gym 2 AU Colors version anime with Balyut pack can be yours in July. It comes with its trusty beam rifle with beam effect part, a single beam saber with 2 beam saber blade effect parts, one being a normal straight one and one being a curved swinging one, a shield, 2 thruster effect parts, a bunch of hand options, and of course the Balyut, so that it can carry out its drop operation on Jawbro. And soon, we might be getting even more figure information because on March the 27th, the Gundam figure exhibition will be held at the Tamashii Nation Store Tokyo in Akihabara, which will last all the way until September the 8th. Now, they didn't say that they're going to be announcing any new figures at this exhibition, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they did. What they did announce though is that they'll have a dedicated GQuuuuuX exhibition and of course a bunch of things to buy. They'll have a collaboration with Strict G featuring Amuro, Shark, Camille, Kira, Atheron, and Shin. They'll have limited edition merchandise based on the illustrations used in the poster, and they'll of course also be selling limited figures, with the currently announced lineup being the Metal Build Exia, Tamashii Nation Store Limited Edition, the Robot Spirits RX-78 F00/E Gundam, the Chogokin RX-78 F00/E Gundam, and the Robot Spirits RX-78-2 Gundam version anime, Earth Colors, that we just went over. And if all of these announcements didn't satisfy your hunger yet, well, we also got some food-related announcements. On the 24th, Gundam started a collaboration with KFC in China for Gundam-themed hamburgers. The buns have Gundam burnt into them, they'll come in Gundam-themed wrappers, and they also released this promotional image featuring the Crossbone, the RX-78-2, the 00 Gundam, the Astray Red Frame, and the Impulse. Like, not the Force Impulse, literally just the Impulse, without any of its silhouette packs, which is not something that you see every day. And more promotional activities are also being planned, but they haven't elaborated on those yet. And then in June, SD Gundam Snacks will be released. The flavor is nostalgic umami salt, and each package will come with one of 32 SD Gundam stickers. There's 27 normal stickers to collect and 5 holographic stickers. Next up then, we got a trailer for a special Gundam movie that will be shown at the World Expo in Osaka. It is called Gundam Next Universal Century, and it takes you on a journey from the Earth through the orbital elevator to space, and then of course the space colonies. And as you can tell by the unarmed mobile suits working together from both Zeon and the Federation, the central theme of this video is a peaceful coexistence. There's even what looks like a Musai that was converted back into an Arcana class. But then something goes wrong. To find out what goes wrong, you'll of course have to go to the World Expo. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, we also got some announcements. From February the 20th to March the 10th, the third Gundam collaboration with Puzzles and Dragons has gone live. And, well, my comments on this collaboration will again be the same as the 2 previous collaborations. I have no idea what Puzzles and Dragons is about, nor am I particularly inclined to find out, but the collaboration art is absolutely fantastic. And the ones that they're showing off here are the GQuuuuuX, the Red Gundam, the Turn A Gundam, the F91, and the Hyakushiki. And staying with the mobile games, we have the pre-registrations for G Generation Eternal. The goal was to get 500,000 pre-registrations, but we've recently smashed through 700,000 pre-registrations. So Bandai had to go out and make new rewards for us. For 600,000, we got 3 additional gacha diamonds. For 700,000, we got an additional premium gacha ticket. And once we reach 800,000, which I guess we'll probably do by the time this video goes live, we'll get an additional 3 gacha diamonds. And I'm sure they'll probably just keep adding more rewards as more people pre-register. Also, it's been brought to my attention that on the App Store, the game is listed as releasing on April the 16th. However, if you look at the official website, there is no sign of an official release date there. And also on the Google Play Store, it says just coming soon, and on Gundam.info, it says to be determined. So make of this Apple release date what you want. In Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation then, the full armor Overon has joined the fray, while on Steam, the GF tank has become available. And in UC Engage, a new clan battle has gone live, and you can get the UR Benager links and his UR Full Armor Unicorn Gundam NTD through a new super limited unit assembly. In other news then, Yoshiyuki Tomino and Chieki Baisho, the voice actor for Amuro's mom, have both been nominated to become members of the Japan Art Academy, and we got the results for the 12th Gunpla Builders World Championship. In the under 14 category, Chai took home the victory with this really impressive Gundam Seed Freedom inspired diorama, followed by USC with this custom perfect grade dual Gundam, and Gundam 3795 with this very serene petite guy countryside diorama. Like, you can just feel the heat of the sun by looking at this. For the under 20 category then, Zhang Junhui got the gold with this G Gundam diorama featuring the Gundams of the new Shuffle Alliance. And it becomes especially impressive when you realize that the models in this diorama are not the high grades, but master grades. Meaning that except for the God Gundam, there was a lot of scratch building involved here, combined with a little bit of cosplay building, like how the Bold Gundam uses the H1 Titus, but still extremely impressive. Second place then went to Hikonatsu with the Sazabi about to take off, and the third place went to Vulcan Gunpla with a very detailed Barbs. And finally for the over 21 category, Wu Jingming won with this incredibly detailed Sentinel diorama. But to be honest, it was actually the second place that really caught my eye with just how simple it is compared to everything else in the competition. It was created by Ryan Lau, and it's just an RX-78-2 being loaded in, but those little pieces coming off of it and the blue shine that they've got make it feel like it is actually being virtualized. Like, the effect is really well done. And then third place goes to Full Armor Green with another very filled diorama. It features the Turn A and Turn X, but the catch here is that they're actually made out of parts from all kinds of different Gunpla. So yeah, definitely some heavy hitters this year. As for the things you could get this week then, first up, on the 21st, you could get some new Gundam Seed Freedom inspired colors from Mr. Hobby. For 380 yen each, around 2 US, you could get Destiny Spec 2 Light Gray and Cholera Light Blue, and for 440 and 3 US, you could get Zeus Silhouette Gold. And on the 26th, you could apply this paint while listening to a variety of Gundam tunes, because on that day, 4 different Gundam musical collections were released, with the fanciest one of the bunch no doubt being the Gundam Unicorn OST Volume 1 on vinyl. It goes for 5,500 yen, 37 US, and Volume 2 is slated for a March 26 release. More standard then are the Hathaway's Flash OST for 3,850 yen, 26 US, containing 2 CDs, and the Kukuru's the One's Island OST for 3,322 US, containing 1 CD. And finally, you could also pick up Singularity 3 Voyage by Takanori Nishikawa. You can get the regular edition for 3,500 yen, 23 US, which contains Freedom and a cover of Beyond the Time, or you can go for the limited edition, which also comes with either a Blu-ray or a DVD, depending on which limited version you get. For this week's reading material then, there was the April issue of Hobby Japan featuring a special on the high-grade GQuuuuuX with a variety of tips and tricks on how to make the kit shine. There was the April issue of Model Graphics featuring the Destiny Gundam Spec 2 and other Gundam Seed kits. Hobby Japan's Gunpla Weathering book, which will teach you all about how to make your Gunpla dirty. The April issue of Shonen Sunday Super, in which Gundam Aggressor is being serialized. The March issue of Grand Jump Mucha, in which Gundam Rust Horizon is being serialized. The April issue of Gundam Ace, in which a bunch of Gundam series are being serialized. We got the 5th chapter of Gundam Gaiden Final Volume, which is of course linked down below. And we also got some new character profiles and mobile suit profiles. And then finally there was the English ebook version of Gundam Forward F90 A to Z Project Part 2, which became available on Amazon US, UK, Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and the Netherlands. For merchandise then, we've got nothing this week, so quickly moving on to the polls. With the G Gundam Official Records Complete Collection Compendium releasing very soon, Gundam.info wanted to know what our favorite thing surrounding G Gundam's 30th anniversary was. The celebratory illustration, the new merchandise, which of course includes a Master Asia fan, the new G Gundam side story novel, or the G Gundam radio thingy that they had going on YouTube. And so far, the results are pretty much exactly what I was expecting. The radio thingy was a nice extra, but that's really all it was. So of course, almost nobody voted for the thing, whether on Twitter or on the main website. And I do feel pretty much the same about the celebratory illustration. It's really well done, but it's just one image. So it just doesn't have like the quantity that the other two did have. Still, it did manage to gather a not unsubstantial amount of votes. Second place then goes to the merchandise, which includes heavy hitters like the Metal Build God Gundam figure and the Master Asia fan. Like, the only thing that surprised me here is that they didn't get even more votes. On Gundam.info, they're pretty much tied with the illustration, and over on Twitter, they also only got 22.9%. The uncontested first place then, of course, goes to the G Gundam side story novel. It might be just a novel and not an anime, but a new story for an older series is always appreciated. And it really shows that a lot of people were really excited about it. And if you want to cast your vote, I'll of course have the links down below. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. Don't forget to check out NordVPN with the links down below. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.